Yeah, X, if you want to do an intro.
Yeah. All right. So I'm here with a media rush. We're here to talk about life. We're here to talk about music. We're here to talk about fashion. We're here to talk about everything and anything that goes into what makes life for these guys. So my first question is, how did the mind of the media rush come about?
I would say we started in 2022 as a DIY fashion show in the back of my homie's crib. Sold out the show with some outside seats, had VIP seating inside, and it started with 5 designers, all based out of Texas, specifically San Antonio at that time. And from there, we kind of reached out to each and every one of the people here to get along on the production. And we had the show, sold it out, had an amazing show, had an amazing night. Had some music acts as well, some local music acts that performed. And yeah, from that point on, it's just been like a journey from there. You know, we've lost some people, we've gained some more people. Obviously relocated to Austin. Now we're doing our thing here for now.
Yeah. So what was that show like for y'all? Whenever San Antonio first happened, we had our first show. What did that look like? What did that feel like for everyone? And did y'all know each other prior to that show? And how did that come about?
Anybody else?
Barely knew everybody.
Yeah. So where did you come from?
I came from Austin, but I was photographing the fashion show.
So,
yeah.
And so, did they already know you DJ'd, or?
No, I don't think I DJ'd at the time.
You were just taking photos?
Yeah.
And you ran into them. What did that night look like for you, Rio?
So I had met Keegan in the past at Spider House Ballroom over here in Austin. We instantly clicked. Like, I was shown plans for a fashion show, and we immediately sat down and got to work and started working on some stuff. And then I was told dates I needed to be in San Antonio, and we were there. I helped organize like the live stream and was shooting a little bit of backstage. Also just like general communication for artists as well, helping out, and then directing some of like the other photographers we had, right, Keegan? We had like, what, 3 or 4 other photographers, other people doing video and shit. Green was doing production. I had known Green for a little bit before that as well, and then I had helped Neff and Judo with, I think I helped you guys with the rave before that? No, huh? It was after?
I mean, you pulled up to one of those shows.
Yeah.
I think Open 6 was the one that we all introduced ourselves.
Yeah, so
Got to know.
like, that's how I started like my introduction to the group, was like doing photography and like video for everybody as well.
Yeah. And so what made the fashion show the greatest idea at the time?
I would say it was just a coming together of 5 local designers out of Texas that were like all really doing the same things, similar things, and like I feel like it's in the name. Like, we didn't really plan it as much as we could have. I mean, we did to an extent, but it was kind of like an immediate rush for everything. Everything just kind of fell into place for us. We spent like maybe not even less than a week setting up the runway and stuff, cleaning out the house, setting up the back, getting projectors and screens ready. It all was in the matter of like not even a week. So that's where the name came from originally. And then just to give all the designers their credit, you know, Marky Sush with Sush, Private Cowboy, Stonewall Studios, Sour Candy, and Cranberry Cranium were all the 5 local designers that were part of that. And yeah, I would say I kind of bridged the communication between each and every one of us, and I was like, hey, let's get this thing going. Like, we got this really cool spot we know of, and San Antonio is like kind of missing this thing that we think we can bring to the table. So we just made that shit happen.
Yeah, and I would say at that time, the only members were, like Keegan had said, we lost members, we added members. The only members in here in that, or the only members that were active in this room right now were us 3, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It was me, Green, and Keegan.
And then Neff and Judo.
Came along after.
Came along
And it
later.
wasn't even what we are now.
And
It was like,
yeah.
it was just a show. It was never supposed to be.
It was never supposed to be what it is now. Opie
Yeah.
as well. Opie came at a later time. Obviously, they were always around. They
Right.
were always the homies, but that's it was at that time. It was the 5 designers. No sour candy mentioned.
Sorry.
You didn't plug the sour candy.
It was specifically just a collective of designers coming together to
Yeah.
put on a one night show.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
And from there, like we said, it just evolved into some more. I think Opie, I'd like to hear her entry into the collective, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I actually met everyone. I had a Halloween party, I think like 2 days after that fashion show. A mutual friend brought all the guys over to my house, and I had already kind of known Keegan like a little bit. We were both taking classes at UTSA in the printmaking lab, so we would like walk by each other and like, but we never said what's up for some reason. But it was that night that I met everyone, and after that we started hanging out. I would go over after work every single day, and we would just be working on whatever, and then eventually it just turned into like, I remember one night I was with Keegan and a former member, and I was like, so what does it take to like be in a media rush? And Keegan was like, you want to be in it, you're in it. And so after that we kind of just like have been writing it out since.
Yeah. Do you think San Antonio looks a little different since a media rush has left, or how do you feel being out there?
Yeah, I also have been MIA for the last like year or so. So I haven't really been involved in the scene very much. I just moved back about 2 months ago. And yeah, being back, it's like unfortunate to see the scene like in comparison to the Austin scene. I feel like Austin is like a few years ahead of San Antonio, or maybe it's just different directions. Like I think the cultural part of art is more prevalent in San Antonio and not so much in Austin. Like Austin has a lot more music. I mean, it's the live music capital of the world.
Yeah, music.
So there's a lot more going for it in that sense. And then San Antonio, I was talking about this today, it kind of gets missed a lot by those musicians. Like every time someone's coming to Texas, it's like Dallas, Houston, Austin. And then San Antonio gets missed, except for like metal artists, which I feel like we haven't really tapped into very much, but there's a pretty big metal scene in San Antonio. But yeah.
Yeah. And then Green, do you feel, how have you seen your production getting better within y'all's advancements from moving from San Antonio, getting different resources, newer people, and how do you feel that production has grown for you?
It's kind of different because I was never really like thinking that was what it was going to be or what I was going to be doing. But whenever we first started our show, it was very much like Keegan said, it was an immediate rush. So, you know, it was like last minute, like 5 minutes before the show, we were still putting shit up. And I think now it's just, we've been doing events for so long, just getting used to it and just like coming more prepared and getting materials ready and everything like that. It's definitely been a lot easier, but nonetheless, it's always hard.
Right.
But I love doing it. It's fucking awesome.
So now I need to understand, what does everyone have on here? Represent what you have on in your media rush.
I mean, each and every one of us got a piece of Immediate Rush on right now. At Immediate Rush, you know, we focus on upcycling. We really value sustainability. So all of the garments that we produce are secondhand thrifted garments that we screen print on. And we each got just one of our own swag. You know, everything's one of one, so
Pure creativity.
nobody else got this.
All right. What did Fashion Week mean for y'all when y'all went out to New York? What was that experience like? And I know y'all been to New York a few times as a group. So what is New York in general outside of Fashion Week mean to y'all as well?
Yeah.
Adventure.
An adventure.
I love Dream. It was my first time, and going with these guys, it was like the best time ever. Like, just like Gino said, it was a goddamn dream.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures and I'm like, where are these guys at out here? And you guys are doing it. So, New York or Berlin? I know you've been to Berlin recently. So,
I've never been to Berlin. So it was my first time in New York.
I don't know. I feel like Berlin is like the Austin of Europe in terms of like kind of slept on in the scene. Not really like an actual fashion week. No big designers really go there. Nobody really pays pays attention to them. Everyone I talk to there kind of loves Austin, and like it's just like very very small. Everyone's like community based. Everyone's like, you know, really pushing like the community aspect of things, like kind of how we are here, I would say. So like I would say like New York and like Berlin are like, I would consider them our sister cities as well as San Antonio, as much so. Just because like I feel like we would thrive in each one of those. And New York, you know, like those 4 or 5 cities in the world, like we could go in there and like we're gonna have problems getting in. We're gonna have problems, you know, like networking, finding different people. You know, it just feels like all those places feel like home to me, and like every one of us would like, you know, DJ. These guys are DJs. They'd obviously get along there. Everyone's already swagged out, so like everyone fits in everywhere.
Embracing y'all.
Yeah. So I it's kind of hard to choose, but as of right now, I say New York just because it's stateside and it's easier for us. And then this past New York trip was so fruitful for us in terms of networking, in terms of you know, like going around and exploring shit. Like it's a bunch of young guys running around the city. You know, New York has seen that 1,000 times, but I feel like we've done it in a different way, and it's like prioritizing, you know, the community and people who are often left out.
Right. And the ways that y'all do things differently, what does it mean for y'all to watch people dance, seeing faces through the things that y'all curate? What does that mean to y'all?
I think it's. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
I
why
think
we
it's
do everything.
everything. Like that's why we do it.
Yeah, that's why we do it.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Community is the most important thing to us, I feel like.
Opie, what do you think?
I was just gonna ask if I could add on to that. One thing that is really important to me about this collective is that we push independent artists being successful as well. Like there's no gatekeeping, there's no like, it's all support and it's all like coming from a place of experience. Like whenever I moved back to San Antonio, I was welcomed into the art scene with open arms. And like, I think that is what's most important, is having people realize that there's room at the table for everybody. Like we can all eat, and it doesn't have to be like an ugly competition. If we're all in each other's corner, then that's like the most important part. That's our goal. That's like the mission, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something Immediate Rush has done separately from different groups. Is like we look at collaboration over competition.
Right.
We don't compete with nobody. We collaborate. So if people like, we bring up people. It's not about who individually makes it. It's about how many we can bring to the top with us.
Right.
Right. And what is the top, right? There is no ceiling.
Right.
So that's the way we kind of look at it. Is we go to San Antonio. We start in San Antonio. We build this massive community of young people, old people. You know, we had started out in the backyard shows. There were multiple backyard shows, and then we come to Austin and we start getting into venues. We start getting into clubs, but we still have that sense of community, and everyone feels at home. We just like curate a safe space. We go to Houston to hang out, to like play events, to go pop up, and we still curate that community there.
Right.
We go to New York. We have homies in New York now. We go to, and even if it's just one of us, we got homies in Killeen. We got homies on the way to Dallas. We got homies in Dallas. We got homies in the Valley. We got so it's kind of like almost like a Texas takeover of like uniting the Republic of Texas, if you want to say, right?
Yeah. The land of his own almost, it feels like.
Exactly.
And I know you don't have a Balenciaga tee on, but no one knows about the Balenciaga love. But skinny or baggy pants?
Baggy.
Baggy.
All the way.
Good pants.
All the way.
Real love skin tight. He tries to pretend like he doesn't, but he likes him riding up his butt.
I think it depends on the fit. You can rock some skinny jeans if you know how to do it well.
I feel like a lot of us, Immediate Rush is known for like rocking the flares though for a minute. I'm with all of it though. I'm not gonna say one or the other.
Keegan's uni.
I go with both.
It depends on the fit.
I'm baggy all the way.
All the way.
I love the bag.
I'm baggy core.
How important is the music to y'all? I know it's about collaborative efforts. It's about the vibes. So how important is the music?
I feel like the music is very important. That's what brings the community in.
Yeah.
Like to dance and be free, you know.
And I mean, as DJs, that's y'all's most important thing. So what does that mean to y'all whenever it's time to get some things on the roll?
I mean, we started with hosting market events with bands, and I would do the audio and visual aspects of everything that deals with that. And I just love live music. Like I've always been into that. I mean, me and Judah have gone to so many concerts together, many events, techno events, anything that's just live bass, and it's just the influence. It's all about the communal effect of it all, and I love it. That's the whole reason. Music is my religion.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing.
Yeah, I think music is the one thing that unites not only us but like the world.
Yeah.
Brings everybody out, and I feel like as far as everything that we do, it definitely entails everything. Fashion. Music comes with fashion, comes with videography, comes with writing. Music is just like the one thing that I think unites and brings everything all together. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I feel like that differs us from like a lot of other people in like the States as well. It's like we don't just stick to techno, we don't just stick to rock music, we don't just stick to indie music, we don't do just rappers. We try and like bring up everybody. If you're a local artist or you're someone who's coming up, we try to prioritize that opposed to like genre based or
Who's popular?
yeah, exactly. Like we're not like trying to ride a wave, we're trying to bring as many people with us, like said earlier.
And then the Opie, for you, I'm gonna start out with you. Favorite band, favorite artist. Who do you look towards whenever it's time to play music?
Oh, right now, I recently downloaded this app. It's called NTS, and a bunch of DJs will get on there and do live sets. And I've just been obsessed, like listening to music from all over. Like today, I was listening to some Brazilian like pop punk, and then like there's one of my favorite bands right now though. It's called Taxidermist, and they're like a punk-ish kind of band. They're really cool, but my music taste is all over the place. Like you ask me tomorrow, I'm probably gonna say some country music artists. So.
Oh hell no.
Hey, wait. Towns Van Zandt is actually good. Towns Van Zandt is probably the best country singer ever.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I've ever heard. What about you guys? Favorite band, favorite musician right now? I know y'all listen to Playboy Cardi.
That's life.
I love Playboy
Dude, I
Cardi.
did a tattoo yesterday.
What?
He just dropped the deluxe today. He dropped that
So
deluxe.
this-
I love it.
He has like a moon tat on his chest. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I seen that on your story. It was
Yeah,
like
I
it was a
had
crescent
this girl
moon.
got the Cardi moon on her arm. I don't know. If
It was like the crescent moon.
Oh, that's actually cool.
That's funny. So Neff, who's your favorite artist?
I want to say the Cranberries. They're one of my favorite bands. I featured them in my movie that I made. It's like a self-biblical documentary about like the art scene here in Austin and my life and all my bros, my family, and like how music and graffiti and fashion influenced me to be who I am, which is I'm really just a skateboarder. Like at the end of the day, that's like my true core passion. And I want to say Cranberries because my favorite song by them is "Linger" and "Promises." Those two are just the best in the world.
I've listened to a few Cranberry songs.
Yeah, Cranberries, this shit. They're so 90s too.
Yeah,
I'm a 90s kid.
all the way. No music really sounds as real as it did back then.
Right.
So I don't blame that. What about you? What about you guys?
Big artist. I really love Interpol and the Amps. Very good bands, but locally, shout out to Minor Issue. Very good homies. Very, very great young talent coming out of San Antonio. They're amazing.
And I'm gonna backpack off of that and say shout out to Scotty X, who is like played a huge role in this immediate rush thing. Was part of the first fashion show, walked in the first fashion show, performed at the first fashion show, and he's out here like building this huge like new wave of sound that he calls just black music. And yeah, what he's cooking up right now. And I've heard some of his leaked shit and release shit. All of it's so good. He's building this like crazy sound that's like I've never heard of. So shout out to Scotty. Also a big fan of like Eve's Tumor.
Love. And then how do you?
Bro's looking at his phone.
Usher.
Usher.
I had to look up the name because I can't really read it, or I don't know the name, but Novolent. It's like Novulent. He's like a rock band.
Fire. I've been hearing the shit he played.
Yeah.
I really into like emo music right now. I don't know why.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is, how do you translate the feelings you feel in emo music, and you're like, now it's time to play this no vocal, and everybody needs to dance. How do you translate the feeling of it?
I feel like when I'm alone, like driving, I can listen to the emo music and be like, just chilling to that.
Mhm.
But when it comes to showtime, it's like the techno. Like the techno is like everything to me.
Mhm.
But when it comes to showtime, I'm studying like 20 songs like at 1 week or like a whole month before the show, or like I'm practicing those 20 songs like over and over and over again, like a lot.
Yeah.
So then when it comes time to transition to the techno, it's like I'm locked in already. Like once I'm at the board, and I hear the speakers, I hear that first bass, I'm in. It's over.
And that's the love. That's the love right there, because I think a lot of people think that being a DJ is easy, and they don't understand all the work that goes into it.
Yeah.
And I know with the way that the world kind of moves now, they see one person doing it, or someone sees somebody doing whatever, and they think it's easy, but they don't understand the work that goes into what you guys do, and especially on the music end, of the production, the lights, whatever it may. It's not easy at all, but you guys make it look easy. What about you, Rhea?
Music, right?
Yeah, just.
For me, I think I got like 3 or 2 people, 1 band, or like kind of 2 bands, I guess. For music, I go Dean Blunt, of course. Yeah, I love Dean Blunt. And then another artist, I go Claro. I know Opie's gonna laugh.
That one, I agree with that.
I know.
I back you up on that one.
I know Opie's gonna laugh at me. I knew it. And then I go Untitled Halo.
Yes.
Just seen them for South by Southwest. Shout out Davis, one of the guitarists for Untitled Halo, who I also just found out is the guitarist for Dutch Interior, who's also here for South by Southwest as well. And I didn't even know that, and he's a good homie. But yeah, shout out them, Untitled Halo, Dutch Interior, Claro, Dean Blunt.
Shout out. Also shout out to Genova Plus.
Yeah.
So who can't swim?
Me.
Opie, can you swim?
Dude, yes, I can swim every time. Cat does not get in the water.
You say you don't get in the water.
Jude does not get in the water.
Who don't? You don't?
Judo.
Oh, she said Jude.
I've never seen him get in.
He just likes to flex outside with his shirt off.
I jumped in the water at Barton and never again.
I've seen him. Our whole friendship, I've seen him in the water once.
That shit scared the fuck out of me. I couldn't touch the floor. I was scared.
It does feel weird. As a person who can't swim either, all I have to say is there's something about the essence of watching the water move and everyone in the water that makes it feel like I am swimming.
Okay.
I don't need to be in the water. Everyone else is
Just shared experience.
exactly. You don't need to learn how to swim.
That's the scariest feeling, is when there's space under your feet and you can like feel it, and then you think in the back of your head like something's there.
Something's
No matter what body of water I'm in, I always feel like there's sharks in there.
No matter what.
No matter where.
in the
You were in the
pool,
water
beach,
for the summer
in
bath.
the lake.
Yeah, but I was touching the ground.
Uh,
I was just the same.
It's the motion of actually having to swim.
Out in the open.
What are y'all thoughts on being drafted into the army? If y'all were drafted into the army today, what's the...
Oh, hell no. I drop out, bro.
I'm going off.
I drop out.
Next question.
Next question, bro.
Not doing that
The
shit.
military clothes that they have in their closets, they could very well pass, but you could definitely tell that they don't belong there.
We're gonna be the most swagged out soldiers
Look at
ever.
Keegan. Keegan's ready to go right now.
Low key, if we went to the army, we would be a crazy ass task force, but we'd probably die second day.
Second day.
Second day, we show up and they'd be like,
We got a
damn.
size 20
Big
waist.
friends.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I just heard they died.
It should be crazy. Bro.
Just
We
know
low-key
the vibes are gonna be right.
We look you running away. We're all going to Mexico, bro. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down.
We left the task force to be
We all going to
a little
Mexico.
communal.
As long as there's twisted teas there, everyone will be okay.
Tequetas.
For real. As long as there's huevo con weenie.
We play around too much. I start juggling the grenades. and shit.
We'll be like running through the field.
Yeah, we're not trust you. We sending you out there first. All right, and so I know Opie, you talked about San Antonio's nightlife. How does everyone feel towards the Austin's nightlife? We've kind of seen a few clubs closed. Things have kind of been changing since, New York has, changed. California's changed. Everyone's moved to Austin. How do y'all feel the nightlife in Austin has changed?
Well, there's still Texas law, so it's like 2 a.m. is when it stops, but I think the changes is that afters are the thing, and everyone that's 21 and up, that's where they're going. They're going to like a Mexican afters or a techno afters. There's even like a country afters, and it's just like that's like
What?
the thing.
Where?
Yes, there is.
Where?
For real, where?
Little darling, bro. We're going two-stepping.
I love Little
Two-step.
Darling.
I want to hang out with some
Little Darling.
rednecks.
Yeah. Well, I'll shoot pool with y'all if you ever go to Little Darling.
Let's do that. That's the place where they got two, right? And then they got the big backyard.
Yeah, you got people.
Nightlife is always changing. It's always so scene specific. You know, you can go to some afters. You can go to a country afters. You can go to a rave off the grid. You know, it just depends on what you're feeling. People here are nice. You can always just find people off the street. You can just walk the streets, have a good time.
Ask
You know,
people
six
for
streets. There's always stuff to do out here.
Right.
There's a foods after too with taco trucks outside, and they're
Yeah.
just everyone's there, drunk and zombified.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I never knew any of those, and I see that's why people trust y'all for their afters, and that's why y'all do things in tunnels.
Yeah.
People come find them. People find y'all wherever y'all go. How does that feel for y'all to know that y'all are the place people should come to after 2 o'clock?
I think it feels great. Like being the person that like is running it, or as I can speak for everybody, like the main thing I'm worried about is like, damn, is this too far out for everybody? Like, is everybody gonna be able to find this spot? And then like time goes by, events started and everyone's there like with ease. Like, I love to see that because that's like one of my main worries is like, are these people even gonna come out in the middle of nowhere in this tunnel, this storm drain, to come enjoy like music at the end of the day? But like I said in the past, like music is just what unites everyone. So yeah.
And I think that's the one thing. The one thing y'all can't hear on the side of being a viewer. At the last rave you guys threw, I'm in the crowd with people, and I hear random people that have they have bands on. They came from wherever they came from for South by Southwest, and they're saying behind me, they're saying this is real music. I don't know what we were listening to before, but this is what I've been waiting on all night. Those are little things that are going on behind the scenes, so people are looking for you guys. Yeah. So I would say that I know you guys were saying earlier that obviously you guys have gotten more organized, you guys have done things differently, but what's the mentality evolution or that's been elevated ever since these things have been going on, since you guys have been building confidence as a group, knowing who's here to stay and who's not, and how do y'all feel about that?
I mean, I can take this unless anyone wants to.
You go.
I feel like it's the organization we come with now. It's like we're like all very much so in lockstep, and then whoever we collaborate with, we kind of like, I don't want to say like snap into place, but like we kind of get like join hands and we kind of walk all together, right? So like the organization is there from the very beginning. Our communication is unwavering. Like this is just at the end of the day, it's a group of friends, a group of best friends. We all fight every day. We all hang out every day. We all hug every day. Like tight G. And then, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's more of like, like the organization has brought us, even for me, like just noticing the difference in the start to now is like now we were a show and a group then, but now we're an organization. And now we move way differently and with more like pep in our step and more or like communication, organization. Like these are just like things that come naturally to us now. Like you've seen it when you walked in. We were organizing a photo shoot, and then we got names on the board. We got the TV pulled up. We got 2 people taking notes, lists. Like this is like this is our life, right? Like this is our life's work. This is everyone. Like I could look at everyone here in the room in the face and say like, what else like do you want? And it's like this. We want this. We want to make you rush to succeed. I feel like that's the.
Was there something that sort of snapped in y'all's minds, or like this is it? What was that little factor that may have played?
For me personally, I think everyone should go on and ask that or answer that question too. For me personally, it's hearing things like what you just said, like this is.
I can see all of them choosing so fucking big whenever you said that. Like they're all keeping their feet in their heads.
Yeah. So when I think it's things like
stuff like that.
Like that really snaps us back. Like I'm pretty sure everyone in here has had their doubts. Like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like why are we spending money? Why are we doing this? Like we make some money back, of course, but that's never what it's about. It's about hearing like what you just said, like or reading your article or being involved in things.
Reading
like
your
this.
article was my favorite thing ever, bro. Like that was made me realize this is worth everything to me.
Meeting new
the meaningfulness
people.
behind it and the perception that you gain from our idea, and it was literally all of us putting it together with Keegan and Rio, and then Green just being like there, and then me and Judo are performing or doing our thing, and we'd love to do it. We love to see people smile and dance and shake it a little.
I think sometimes it's hard for us to like kind of gauge what's going on because that like what you said was like crazy to hear because the whole
My
time
favorite.
me and Rio are running that shit, trying to make sure everybody's good. We got walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
We're going up and down, trying to make sure.
Flashy lights.
We got Keegan taking photos, making sure like we got video documentation on it. We got 2 DJs here who are constantly back and forth DJing it.
With
so
the
it's
lights
like,
going through the crowd, we
So-
got headlamps.
yeah, sometimes
That was also a big thing. The
Yeah.
lights. Everyone admired the lights.
Mhm.
Y'all did a good job.
it's
Yeah.
hard for us to like gauge like what we're doing at some points, but just to hear that feedback, it's like,
It makes it worth it.
well, like we did that shit,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
It's beautiful.
To have to carry all that big ass equipment down into the fucking gorge and do all this shit and sweat and be all gross and still like run the event and talk to people and hug people and still be gross and sweaty and these people like see the love and all the people come out and then cherry on top of the article, right? And then like us doing this interview and like getting praise from like because who cares about the likes and all the other shares and comments? Like we are about establishing like the genuine connection, like building the community, and we've seen that after that, and so I think like these little statements or people telling us like that shit was sick, like just coming up to randoms coming up to us, oh that shit was sick, and it's like, oh bro, what's your name? Who are you? That's what makes it worth it. That's what
That
really
connection.
drives us.
Can I add on to this
Yeah.
question or answer, I guess? I think the collective drive and passion for art is what really made me go down to like ride this out for the rest of however long I live, you know, because it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to carry it out through action. And I think the passion for art and creating, there's a fine line between having to monetize it and live off of it. But if you're willing to do that with making no money or just doing it for the pure sake of like, that's what you love to do, that's a whole nother realm of like passion. And I think I've discovered that in each one of these guys sitting here. And that's what makes me feel like propelled to do the same.
And even going further off of that, like I guess I would say there's 2 things that really like clicked for me to know like that this was it. Obviously the first show we did in San Antonio was like a huge monumental thing for me. I mean from a young age like I knew this is what I wanted to do, but seeing like each and every one of these guys willing to be a part of that just let me know like I don't got to do this alone and all these people are down to do the same thing. You know, we're all here for the same goal, you know, doing the same thing, making shit happen. And so yeah, that first show, selling it out, even like not even like obviously we could do whatever we wanted, but like people are coming out to see us, especially in a city like San Antonio where there's not too much shit going on that's like that. I feel like in Texas there's like these pockets of creativity and creative scenes, and it doesn't really like flood out into like the rest of the cities like New York does. Like I feel like it's just a creative hub.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've found our way into to like finesse our way into these creative pockets in each city and even build our own in that sense. And then the second thing I guess I would say is like losing members. We've experienced like downfalls, you know, but it's our, like what Opie said, our drive and passion of being able to bounce back and stay focused on like this is what we want to do, and just seeing that drive and passion in everybody for the arts and that power to just bounce back from those losses, and it's just like extremely powerful and inspirational.
To piggyback on that question, I mean, Opie, you're still living in San Antonio, so what's that vision look like for you while, you know, you're from like an hour away and driving this way, worrying about
So-
gas, all that?
Yeah, we've actually been discussing how I can get back into making stuff happen in San Antonio. Before Immediate Rush, I was coordinating markets, like weekly markets at this vintage store here, which was cool, and I feel like I met a lot of people and got super involved, but now I feel like markets are just everywhere, and I'm trying to find different ways to involve the community without having to like them come and buy some stuff from people, whatever. Not dogging it because that's like how I got involved, but there are different routes. The tattoo shop that I work at right now, we're working on a gallery, like an open artist call. There's a venue here that had an artist call, and then they ended up trying to charge $30 just to show your piece, which I think is really stupid because that's not what the art is about. Like, I don't know, if you're trying to accumulate artists and give them an opportunity, they should be able to do that freely. And so I'm trying to go a different route with it and go more like a curation and I don't know, like I said before, there's a fine line between monetizing your work and like as an artist you want to be able to live off of it, but not having to do that at the same time because you want to do it for free because you love doing it. So I'm trying to find projects where I can do that, you know. So right now I'm working on like a curated gallery art show thing.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Can't wait to see what that comes out with.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, what I can say, and what separated the Media Rush as far as all the markets go, and Sush as well, I remember, I don't remember what was that place called, but it was off 6th Street, and y'all did a pop-up there. The one thing that set y'all apart versus everyone else that did the marketplace was y'all had honor with y'all stuff. Y'all looked like knights. You threw the banners up on the walls, didn't give a fuck about any of what the rules were. You guys were rebels just to show what you guys represent. So whenever you guys go out and represent anything, what is that y'all carry on y'all's backs? And you know, whether y'all are throwing something, whether you go and venture somewhere else, what is that y'all hold close to y'all?
I think like as far as like pop-ups and just like events we do, we really focus on full curation of our own, full creative direction of our own. Any space we walk into, we're making that space ours, you know? We're gonna be seen at the end of the day. Whoever walks through is gonna walk by us and wanna speak to us, whether it's, you know, the banners behind us, whether it's the clothes on the rack, whether it's the flyers on the table, whether it's the video playing on the TV. We're just trying to conjure up a conversation with people to one, not only connect, but, you know, get them out to the next event, hopefully, you know?
Always keeping art in mind.
Yeah.
One thing we always like say, you know, like Keegan is the creative director, is like we always put like our whole like passion into it. It's like no matter what it is. If it's a pop-up, we're like I said, like we're hanging up banners. If it's a fashion show, we're doing everything we can. We're assembling teams. If it's a market, we have everyone has their own separate roles to play in just in even in the small things in individual market. I will say like from the very beginning we've always prioritized like local creators opposed to like just another vintage market. That was one of our differentiators from the very beginning. And we really like try and come correct for everything. For no matter what it is, we're putting like our all into it, and you know, like we're trying, like Keegan said, to make that space ours and make it known.
And in addition to that, everyone in this group is a really genuine, easy to get along with, talkative, kind-hearted person. So having that character out in the city, I think is like it carries the art. You know, it's not about like, oh, we're the coolest looking people in the room. We're also really good people.
Yeah, and
Hoping to inspire
No, for
others.
you can see the passion like in what we do, and I think that's like really, really important. Like we're not there to make money off a pop-up. The main idea is to network and get our ideas out and get our message out. Like everything is upcycled, like we said. Nothing is over like $50, and anything that is like we put the time. You see the passion into that $50 piece if it is. Yeah, we're not there to make a quick buck or anything. We're simply there to push our art out, and hopefully, you know, you what's the word?
Be inspired.
Yeah, be inspired or resonate with it. You know.
Respect
We don't want to be seen or heard. We want to be felt.
Right. And I mean, people feel y'all. And it's only getting better. All right.
I kind of have a question for you though, because you've been around the scene for like I've been in Austin like 6 years. Green's been in Austin forever. I don't know. I feel like I've known you for a while, like or even known of you, and then now that we're good friends.
Yeah.
What do you see? Like you've seen groups come and go throughout the Austin scene. You've seen these groups, you know, come and go. You've seen good people like come up out the city and then dip, and then you've seen people that are still here, like you know, amazing artists like Genova and you know Bertini's throwing events and Lucas. Like we've all kind of known each other. Like we've all been adjacent of each other in some one because we're all swagged out. So of course, you know that's why we're on the same spot at the cool rave. There's only so much you could go to here. Like what have you seen? Like as a almost like a pioneer of the Austin scene, I would say.
Yeah. I think I've seen a lot of growth, but a lot of things being taken away and a lot of lack because of, you know, environments are changing. People are getting more money, and people with money are moving here, and they want a certain style. And I think it's taken away the weirdness of Austin and all of the gyms. I mean, Club Eternal wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, because that was a place where you may run into a New York DJ.
Yeah.
And they may play you some shit that you've never heard of before. And I, for example, when I used to go to Club Eternal, I was going to see him perform when we were at the abandoned factory or that abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
It was a video of me literally front and center. I had shorter hair, blonde hair.
You had the sunglasses on too.
I had the sunglasses on and I'm just bobbing my head to him DJing. And it's been those little things that I can't really find anymore. I mean, that warehouse is, that was a summer and that was a great summer for all of us. But, things close, things end. But I think with you guys, and like I said in my article, I think it all lies with you guys. And the more organized y'all stay and the more power y'all have to yourselves, the cooler shit can be. I don't go out. I don't really go to I hate Coconut Club. The only place I can go is Barb's. But that's because Barb's is going to give you some good stuff. It's going to make you feel yourself. They're going to play the Taylor Swift or whatever they're going to play. Yeah. And I'm going to dance. But other than that, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
And as being the witness and the observer, I always find myself in the hands of you guys. So that's what I can say, and that's why the article resonated so well, because that was my truth of not only that experience, but a collective of experiences, starting from the very beginning of me not knowing who he was, and I was like, damn, this motherfucker can play some music. I feel like I'm in New York or Paris. I know I'm watching, what is her name? It's a group of DJs, Chemistry and Storm. That's what his music reminds me of. And I used to watch videos of them performing at Underground Paris. So it's like, I can't get to Paris right now. I can't time travel back to the 80s and the 70s. But damn it, I could get close when I go listen to him. Or I listened to, when I was there last time, 44 Angel, if that's how you say her name. I think Kaya as well. And a few other just really good DJs. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
And I think that just goes back to these creative pockets that we're building, like I said. And you weren't even there for the rest of the show, but that show ended up getting rained out. The storm drain ended up flooding.
Yeah. Around 5 in the morning.
Everyone that was there locked in, even just viewers or people that were there enjoying the music, everyone locked in, started packing that shit up. We all
picking up wires.
Very communal moment.
Because I was driving home and I was like, oh, it's raining. Did they know it's raining? I was like, the generator's outside.
Yeah, we felt that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. And that's another thing I want to add on. I seen the one thing that I would see that was magical that night that didn't make it into the article is how all y'all huddled around this generator. Well, because I don't know if it didn't start or something was going on. And y'all got it to run and everybody just started jumping and it looked like y'all were kissing each other or something. It was just it was I think I did. I think I may have touched on it in general, but it was I don't know, it felt like cavemen just came up with the best invention ever and I was just looking at them
generator.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're about to have, this is about to be a
We
good
discovered
night.
fire.
Yeah, it was just,
It's
but,
so dope.
okay, this is a serious question. Opie, you ready? All right. A bowl of dead worms or live roly-polies? What are you eating?
Oh, I'm eating it.
Not really polies.
I'm going really cold.
Way easier, way smaller.
Wait, the roly polies are crunchy though.
They're crunchy. It's like eating a cornflake.
Can I season it? Can I put okay, whatever
Opie
it is.
eats roly-polies already, so.
You get your...
Because I'll put some fucking cheddar popcorn salt on
No, that was not... You get Tabasco, paprika.
Give me some chamoy.
Salt.
You get a little tahini.
Yeah.
Little olive oil.
It's all textures. Dead worms, out of the question.
Low-key, how long have the worms been out?
Man, the worms kind of set out 24 hours.
Oh,
they had to thaw out.
So they slimy.
Yeah,
I do like gummy worms.
I think I'm doing worms.
No.
It's like noodles. It's like
If you
noodles.
put
though.
sour particles on it, and maybe
Sour
mix it with
particles?
something, when you
If
put
you feel like you can mix it, if you feel like that makes it
gummies,
easy.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
might do roly-poly and eggs.
roly-poly and eggs.
Bacon,
That
egg, and
sounds
cheese and a roly-poly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like a
I'm
new
going
diet.
roly-polies in an acai bowl.
Yeah. I think that's the new wave. I think we're done with the crickets. All right. What's everyone's favorite daydream? You're alone. What do you think about? Where does your mind go?
Opie, start.
Oh my gosh. Daydream.
You say I want to be in Paris. Like, is it Paris? Is that where you think? Somewhere on the beach side?
No, I'm in Texas. I love Texas. I'll probably travel, but this is home for me. I feel like this is where I grew up. This is what raised me. This is what made me. So I'm probably gonna end up in Texas, but I don't know. As far as daydreaming goes, I think it's just being able to live off the art and not have to ever worry about, like working for another person, if that makes sense.
You got beers in the fridge.
Fake fucking big old michelada right in front
Oh,
of me.
fucking A.
Yeah.
Is that the tomato paste one? That's the tomato paste Modelo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the worst
Tomato
beer.
juice.
That is
Tomato
the worst beer ever.
Hey, we'll take you to Fiesta.
Oh.
San Antonio.
Low key, when you're
Six
hungover,
Flags.
when you're
I
hungover,
daydream
bro,
about Six Flags.
you can't just drink one like sober because then it's like it's heavy and you feel gross. But it's like all the tios the next day will be fucking hungover, and then they'll make a michelada and you drink it. It's like a Bloody Mary almost.
Yeah, that is the worst idea we've ever had as human beings.
It's for benders, you keep
Low
going.
key, low key.
Yeah.
So what were you were about to say something?
I was saying Six Flags. I love amusement parks. I daydream going on a roller coaster, and I'm all baked and shit,
So
like
what
the
is it?
Superman.
Oh no.
Oh, fuck with that one.
Well, so that's your favorite. That's your favorite role.
Yeah, I feel like daydreaming about being at an amusement park with the bros.
So wait,
Probably
you never heard
days.
about the stories about people's legs getting cut off? From
I mean, that'd be lit, but
No.
it was pretty lit. Sounds like a freaking Final Destination 3.
What about you?
This is the daydream right here. I'm
Oh,
here with
God.
my best friends. Like we're making art. We're doing what we can. I mean,
That'd be dope.
everybody has struggles. We all go through our own shit. But at the end of the day, we're all here together, and I can rely on these guys for anything. So it's really the dream right here. Like
Fuck a day job.
I would like to
That's
have a
how
little
my
more
friends all
money,
day.
but shit, it's fine.
Everyone lives in a cul-de-sac. We're all neighbors.
We're all
We have
neighbors.
Bill right in the middle of the cul-de-sac.
This is best case scenario. Like,
Yeah.
everybody here is so passionate. Everyone here is so loving. Like this is my community right here. Like these guys are everything to me. What we do is everything. So
Judo.
Yeah, I can really second agree, honestly.
Fighter.
No, I mean,
Futurama.
that's exactly what I was thinking about. I was like, man, I done been everywhere, so I'm just like, this is the best, honestly.
Yeah.
I done been all over the world, low key, but
Yeah.
I love being with them.
Flex.
you know?
If not yet, everybody's gonna be around the world soon. So,
It's going around the world with the bros and
Yeah.
OP.
yeah.
OP, you left the room? What the fuck? I was talking some nice
My fault.
shit.
I had to hit the vape.
I ain't it on camera. You're good.
I definitely resonate with what they said, but I mean, just getting back from New York, I'm daydreaming about New York.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
But we was in New York together. So.
that's why. It's
No,
all
no,
together.
no.
So what did y'all see in New York? What's got you still trapped there?
I mean, personally, just the sheer amount of like creative people I met and like creative people just living off their art was like so inspiring.
Yeah.
Like they might be struggling, but you know they're making that shit work strictly off selling their art, making their art. We went to a fashion show that was super dope, and just seeing the production like that, like over there, just everything we saw there just showed me that like it's just another group of guys like us just doing the same exact thing we're doing, just like in a city that has more opportunity. And that I can like channel that back here and like, yeah, we're doing the same thing. The city may not have as many opportunities, but we're building those opportunities for ourselves.
Yeah, right. Then what are some opportunities that you speak of? What do you think Austin doesn't have as far as opportunities go? What do you see?
I mean, not to like leak some shit, but obviously we got some shows coming up. Specifically, we're working on fashion show that'll come in the future, and I feel like that scene isn't really tapped into here. There is like Austin Fashion Week, Texas Fashion Week, but it's like super corporate and diluted and
No sort of storytelling aspect.
yeah, it doesn't have the same passion that we have.
It's very commercialized.
I mean, because it's coming from all the shops that are in the World Trade Center.
Mhm.
Most of the ones when they speak about Fashion Week in Texas is the world. I've been to those shows, and the only reason why they're in them is because they have their booths or whatever they have in the World Trade Center.
Yeah,
And they just Yeah.
They're all funded by somebody else, and everything we've done is completely funded by us.
Yeah.
And even at that, like we don't got bread like that. Like we're making shit happen. It's all DIY. We got tiny budgets, and we're making like shit happen that's way bigger than what they are doing at this point. No shade, but like
Yeah, just a lot more passion behind it. Well,
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, just a lot more passion behind it, because like, Immediate Rush started with just fashion, and then it just grew into more and more and more. But coming back to the fashion and just doing it all by ourselves, like how it was in the beginning, I think that's what's gonna make this show or the next thing special, because we're just so passionate.
That's how we started as a fashion group, and that's like how we came together as like a unit to dream.
I think the basis of DIY is really like saying fuck you to the systems that are created. At least like in tattooing, there are so many shops that treat people like shit, and being in a DIY shop, it really is like opens my eyes to how working for yourself and creating these places where you get to create the rules and you're not answering to somebody, like that is kind of what sets it apart. You know, you don't have the corporations that you have to answer to, that you have to like, I don't know, like bow down to. You know, that's what's different about what we're doing in Austin and in San Antonio, rather than like the Austin Fashion Week, like Keegan was talking about. We kind of have the reins.
Yeah, and I think what's special about it is that this is Texas here. Like this is like I'm from New Mexico, right? These guys like to give me shit about it, but I feel like Texas is my second home. Like Austin, San Antonio, like it feels like home to me now. Like I could drive around. I don't need a map. I got friends in both places I can stay the night at. Like it's, if I need help, I could call people. Like this is like my new home, and it's Texas, like born and bred. Like we're really prideful of that, and we really like love like just bringing it from the local source, opposed to like we don't look for brands, we don't look for sponsorships, we don't look for partnerships unless it's like collaboration with local groups such as True Step System or Nerve Damage, or who else am I not plugging?
True Step. Kingdom.
Kingdom, you know, Kingdom's local. Like we got a good friend Brody, and a Freak System as well, Mitchell. You know, like what's the other one? After Dark is Tanner. He just performed at our last rave. Like really, like they're all part of their own little group, and everyone is like I said, it's collaboration, not competition. So that's what really makes it special for us. Is like moving away from the corporate side of things. Like I work a corporate day job. Like I sit at my desk and I daydream all day.
about being out of there.
I don't see anything as out of our reach. We may not have the time or the resources or the funding or anything, but
In this moment.
that's just what we don't have. But we'll make that shit happen. You'll see us. We'll be there eventually. Whether we get somebody to put us on to do it or we do it ourselves. Either way, just our drive is what's gonna put us there.
Yeah, and I think you guys are already there. And I think it's that the reason why I say that as well is y'all have a system, and y'all are understanding y'all's system on a whole different level. And like you said, y'all started as fashion. Y'all have implemented so many different systems into one system, and y'all have created a blueprint almost. So what are some opportunities that y'all think could come to Austin, or that we should start creating amongst the collaboration to drive that force?
Definitely involving the community more. Like that's our number one goal.
Yeah.
Like I think of like workshops we've done in San Antonio, where we're bringing out a community to, you know, get a one-on-one experience, hands-on experience of learning how to sew and screen print. You know, providing the community with the skills and knowledge to take home and, you know, further their creativity at home, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's one opportunity that we can tap into in Austin, I guess. I don't know, you guys?
Yeah, that kind of like ties back to my daydream too. Is I don't think I said it. Is for me personally, I sit in my little stupid corporate job and I daydream of all of us owning like a warehouse together, and like being able to host, you know, like collaborative like events. Not only like at events, like we all own a warehouse and we got people in the back sewing. We're doing sewing classes every day. We're doing screen printing classes every day. We got our own fashion house in the back. We got our guys working on shit for our next show. We got DJs playing. We got, you know, like maybe, I mean, we got tattoo artists in there. All people from like all different walks of life coming together. In my daydream is like giving back to the community, but also like creating that safe space for the community to hang out, like the third place type shit. Because like a lot of people don't have that third place to hang out, and we've kind of made like our crib the third place. Like we've had multiple people over, like we have artists coming up and shooting videos upstairs. We've had like even content creators come through and do some shit. Photographers, videographers just wanted to come through and like build a portfolio, and you know, people that come through and just want to work on sewing or like different stuff, editing video, which come in the middle of the crib in the middle of the night, editing video, photography, like Keegan and Green stay up countless hours at night making clothes. We're storyboarding shit all the time, Opie's tattooing all the time, graphic design, like having that other space where more people are welcome. And like I think that's something Austin is sadly missing, just because of like the sheer gentrification of like, yeah, like all of these spaces are being taken over by corporations or apartment buildings, which is good because we're bringing like people in, right? But like when we don't need another Starbucks or some other shit.
Right.
I feel as our blueprint isn't really a blueprint, because a blueprint is a set thing, you know, that you're trying to build. I feel like ours is more of a FBI suspect hunt. It's everywhere all the time. We walk a thin line trying to create. We don't ever box ourselves in. We're always trying to find a new thing to break us out of what we're doing, so that we don't stay stagnant. We don't stay as one thing, you know.
Yeah, and that's one thing is like we've all struggled with too, is like the things we struggle with is like who is Immediate Rush, who is all Immediate Rush, right? What does Immediate Rush do? And I think that second question is like the most beautiful part, because it's like, what do we do? We do everything.
What don't we do?
Yeah, that's the real question, is what don't we do? Is like, you've seen us do fashion shows, you've seen us do markets with live music, you've seen us do artist management, storyboarding, clothes, screen printing for like other local people. Like we do it all. That's the beautiful part of it, is like we do it all, we do it for the community.
Yeah. And piggybacking off of what Green said, like this whole FBI suspect list, like as far as opportunities, like I feel like these pop-ups and events we host and bring out like creatives and artists, I see like every single one of these artists we're bringing out as an opportunity for us, you know, to connect and, you know, bring them in on what we're doing, hopefully bring their ideas to life, they help us bring our ideas to life, and it's just like a mutual beneficial relationship in that point, you know?
And I think that's what makes you guys feel so real. Y'all have a constant mirror of showing how y'all like to be reflected and how y'all like to be represented.
Yeah, we're gonna match that energy.
Yeah, and y'all only bring the best if y'all can.
We got 50,000 feet and 50,000 doors. We gonna break something eventually, and we gonna do it the best.
I know we're running short on time, so I got two final questions. This was for you, first one. I didn't make your film, and I do apologize. But what was that experience like for you in that first movement?
Well, I've made two so far. The first one was just a skateboarding movie, but the second one is more than that. Like I said, it deals with three main topics, and it talks about it definitely talks about skateboarding, but that's the last topic. The first two topics is going to be the fashion stuff that I've done with everyone, how we Judo presented a collection and was showcasing everything to like an audience of Austin. Inside a mansion, and it was all local, and then I'm narrating my experiences through that too. So each chapter, I think there's exactly 7 chapters into the movie, and the first one is like an intro of the world, and the second chapter is the younger me making a video about how I want to be a skateboarder and how I want to influence everyone to just do their own thing. I was 9 years old when I made that clip, and I used it in my own movie to kind of tell the story. And the next step to that story was that I do my own live show, and it talks about how I'm really into music and how I wanted to put something on for the community, and I did something in my hometown in Killeen, and everyone was there having a good time, and just recording it and putting all my money and effort and that passion in that moment was awesome. I just knew I could create something more from that. And it goes on to bringing raves, which is the next topic of the movie, the techno scene of Austin. And I start documenting like 3 different events. The first open 4 that was in Austin, that was really curated by me more. And that was actually Judo's first time DJing, and he went by DJ Vision. And that was the breakthrough for his scene and his moment.
Yeah.
And
that was the first one I recorded.
Yeah,
right?
that was the first one. You even photographed it too, and
Yeah.
that was the very first one for like y'all as well. Open 6 though was the next chapter after Open 4. We did a 5th one, which wasn't documented, but I think the sixth one was very, very monumental because we met a lighting group, a team of members that helped do the lighting for the rave sounds that we were doing. And we did it in that warehouse. That's your first time seeing Judo perform. And that's in the movie. And it's just crazy because it's the whole film of By Design 2 is just my lifespan from 2022, from doing my first live show to now. And I'm with this creative team, these friends, this brotherhood and sisterhood with OP.
Sisterhood, traveling Modelos.
Most traveling Modelos.
I drink enough Modelos to be considered in the brotherhood.
The basic end of the movie that I wanted to spread the message of is that, you know, the journey isn't over, that there's so much more things I want to see and do, and maybe that's the point of it. Maybe it's by design. So, and that's how it kind of ends. Type shit.
So when we talk about things being by design,
Yeah.
this is my final question. Once the FBI board feels closer to completion in the near futures, or however long it may feel for you guys to feel things are complete, how do y'all want the world to view Immediate Rush and all of the things you guys have accomplished, or will have accomplished by that time?
Seeing what's next.
Yeah.
Seeing what the next thing we do.
I personally don't think the board will ever be finished. It'll be flipped over and restarted. It'll be flipped over and restarted. It's like that cork board, so they flip it over and then it's like a new.
It's a whiteboard instead of a chalkboard.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's always more to do. There's always more people to help, and whether that be the youth, whether that be, well, it's always gonna be the youth, right? I mean, people are always born every day, right? So, I mean, for how long as we live, like having a space and putting on for the youth and helping people our age and older, like get a platform, I don't think it'll ever end. But viewing Immediate Rush is like the community, right? Like how many people like have played the Immediate Rush show? How many people have been in attendance? How many people have
Been inspired.
written articles, been inspired? Like Neff made a movie, like going to other events, to fashion shows, and we're all there, and everyone is there, and there's so many faces that we didn't know at that time. And now we see these faces and we know them, and they're really good friends of ours.
We see it on the big screen.
Yeah, and now and it's just like it's a special feeling going back on that and seeing the faces from the past that were there in attendance, but now we all know and love each other.
Yeah, we're all basically stars on this earth, and it's stars, my friends. You know, I mean, that's what the film's basically about.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, it's called the macro and microcosms. What you see above is what you see below. So the stars you see in the sky are the stars you guys want to represent.
Yeah.
You know, that's word to Plato. But that's all I got. Thank you guys. I don't know if y'all want to introduce yourselves out and edit it in there.
My name is Keegan Pace. I am creative director and creator of Immediate Rush, multimedia artist, and I also run my own brand called Sour Candy.
My name's Rio. I'm the lead stylist for Immediate Rush, and I manage all bookings and artist relations.
I'm Green. I'm the production manager for Immediate Rush. I skate for Day One Skateboards, and I make rugs.
My name is Judo. I'm a director of photography for Immediate Rush. I'm also a DJ that goes by Triple Star.
My name's Neff. I am the lead audio and visual engineer for Immediate Rush, and I also skateboard and DJ.
I'm Opie. I'm the archivist for Immediate Rush. I'm a multimedia artist, so I dabble in a lot of things, but my main focus right now is tattooing, and I practice under the alias Sexy Hot Rash.
Ooh.